Should you max your current artifact that you're working on, or should you wait for the next shiny mage artifact? The hardest decision in Call of Dragons isn't spending, it's actually waiting. I will talk about in this video about the artifact and how to decide should you actually save, or at least how I do it from my perspective, or should you actually go with the artifact that you're working on. Why waiting may actually worth it, what is your risk, and when to actually commit. So I'm going to start first with scaling benefits. Now, as a mage main, right now there's going to be a new artifact for the mages. Obviously, we end up with the cavalry, infantry, marksmen, and right now should be the mages. So I have like 175 of the forge artifact keys, still like 95 keys less to be guaranteed to get the artifact. I have some gems, but yeah, this topic for other video. So should I actually go? What actually make my decision behind? And again, I'm going to first start with the scale up. Right now I have artifacts that I use. One of them is Breath of Gigantis. This artifact is completely fine at level 1. If I make him till level 5, it's going to double the defense reduction, but in the same time I'm starting with very decent defense reduction. If here was 10% and at level 5 was 30%, maybe I was going to go for this artifact, but I think at level 1 is completely fine this artifact to stay. So at this point I'm not going to spend over this artifact, and I'm not going to scale up this artifact in general. The next one I can actually show you is Phoenix Eye. It's level 5, so here is no needing investment. The other one is going to be Thunder Elegy. Now for the Thunder Elegy, I get the control effect just from level 1. There's going to be circle for 5 seconds with the silence for 5 seconds. So I really don't need actually to spend more over this artifact. And finally, it's actually Mirage Orb. Now this is an artifact that I definitely want to spend. I start working over this artifact. It's level 2. If you check my previous video, you're going to see the pain that I suffered till I make this artifact level 23. 230 pulls till I draw the second level of Mirage Orb. So at this moment I'm currently working over one artifact that I think deserve my attention, and this is Mirage Orb. And funny enough, the control artifacts, the majority of the cases, level 1 is just enough. Or support artifacts like Breath of Gigantis, Thunder Elegy is an artifact that at level 1 you're going to get the majority of the benefits from this artifact. So I have Mirage Orb and I have 175 keys. What is going to be the next step? Well, the next step is going to be I'm going to save the keys. This is one of the things. Right now I have Forge of Light. It didn't have anything that I'm currently looking at from point of artifacts. If I switch, yeah, this is basically, I don't know when this video is going to come online, so most likely this event is not going to be here, or if it's here, it's going to be some different attributes, but my system is going to stay the same. So yeah, I'm not going to go for this one, and I definitely going to wait for the mage artifact just to see it. If it's something like a control artifact, most likely I'm going to continue with the Mirage Orb, because it may sound funny, but the merits is specifically for mages. The merits are coming the majority from the artifacts and from the pets. I can say even from the pets. So if I hit pretty decent amount of people with the Phoenix Eye, I'm going to get pretty nice merits. So if the next mage artifact is actually a control one, I'm going to continue investing in the Mirage Orb. I think this thing here is having absolutely crazy value, and I already have too many control artifacts or buff debuff artifacts. Thunder Elegy, Breath of Gigantis, these two artifacts is just enough to actually cover the control or buff or the buff I put on the battlefield, supporting my alliance in the process. So I'm definitely going to play the waiting game. just because this forge artifacts is not something that you can achieve that easy. You get like 5 per week, and if you buy the bundle you may get more, but this requires spending. So I strongly suggest maybe for the free-to-play players just to get the legendary artifacts at level 1 to have for all of their heroes, and from there maybe thinking over the next maybe level, but mostly it's going to be for the level. We're lucky so far that for example, Phoenix Eye, one of the very good artifacts in Call of Dragons, is free to play friendly. For the cavalry it's way more easy, not gonna lie. You have Kingslayer, that is for with the free keys. You got Sorwan Blade, that is at the end of the Titan Legacy, and at the end of the Titan Legacy you also got Spring Blades. So this is like 3 artifacts that are a suit. So if you have like 3 cavalry legions, you basically have pretty decent artifacts for these legions. But for the mages things are way more different. You have like 1 Phoenix Eye, and that's all. Some people may actually point the staff, but the staff is for completely different purpose. Or maybe Tear of Fireborn, if I actually see this artifact. Not quite sure this artifact actually deserves your attention. Maybe for some support legions on the battlefield, but yeah, at the end of the day I'm going to play the waiting game. I'm going to check it out, what is going to be the next mage artifact. I really hope to be more general artifact, like for example Mirage Orb or this one, Phoenix Eye. I really hope the new artifact actually can be applied to multiple legions and to not be something like Infernal Flame, because we're start seeing an artifact that is pretty tied to the new legion coming in the Call of Dragons, the new 2 heroes. So I really hope I don't see something like this, like infecting Scorch to get like 15% more magic attack. I mean, this is something that is for Lilia, obviously. So yeah, it's going to be a waiting game. Why wait? Because the next mage artifact might shift the entire meta, and this is something that I see with the new artifact for the infantry. Now, people may actually think that the Spiritborn Torque are still extremely good artifact, and I can agree. Spiritborn Torque is still one of the best infantry artifacts, but by watching the new one, Serpent Age, that is giving 20% more HP, this thing can go up to 60% if I remember, for 15 seconds, just enough time so can Kuma actually drain everything around him. But it's not only Kuma, let's start from there. It's not only for the Kuma. HP is something that is valid for all the infantry heroes. So this is a pretty general artifact that is extremely good one. Also is HP buff by the hero skills. Legion get 1% attack and defense for 10 seconds, 5 stacks. Absolutely crazy artifact. So if it's something like this, most likely I'm going to get it. And maybe I'm going to remove from the Lilium this Infernal Flame artifact. The reason behind is it's doing good amount of damage if we check it out, but not that good. I mean, it can go 3 hits for 220, so it's basically pretty decent damage. I'm not gonna lie, pretty decent damage, but it's just for 1 hero. I don't think soon Lilia is going to go out of fashion, so I'm pretty much full from point of the artifacts. Maybe I'm going to take out one of the supporting artifacts, and most likely this is going to be a Thunder Elegy or maybe Breath of Gigantis, but I think Breath of Gigantis is... Both of these 2 artifacts are very close from point how supporting they are. But in general, the Assault artifacts, the one that is doing damage in few hero pockets with merits, is the one that actually needs some level, because from there the damage actually are scaling up. Now, obviously, the question is coming, what if the next artifact is bad? Well, then you lose time, but keep your keys safe. So basically, yeah, I'm going to lose time waiting for the new mage artifact, but at the end of the day, it's more important to actually have my keys in my pocket from this just going over or spend it on something that I don't need that much. And currently, if there was a Mirage Orb, I'm not gonna lie, most likely I was going to go for this artifact, because even if the new artifact is that good, I'm almost full on legendary artifacts. I have Infernal Flame for the Lilium, I have a Mirage Orb for Bertrand Tocher, I got Phoenix Eye for maybe if I go with Mutea or Wodir Velen. Strongly depends how I'm going to create the synergy between my legions. And I have some control artifacts that I can apply for Thunderlin, and maybe Margaret Zeta with Celestials can also be a good option. But yeah, at the end of the day, the main thing you have to watch over your artifacts is which artifacts actually need level and which artifact give pretty decent benefits uh, on level 1, and you don't actually need to level up that much this artifact, because from this point is not much valuable to invest in these artifacts. And the majority of the times is assault artifacts need level, and the support or maybe control artifacts, they are completely fine at level 1. And I can say even same for the Spiritborn Torque. Where is this artifact? Yeah, this thing is giving you like 3 seconds taunt. If you level up to level 5, it's going to be 5 seconds. It's 66% increasing the taunt duration, and obviously you're going to receive some defense bonus, but it's like 2 times more if you level up this artifact to level 5. In general, I think Spiritborn Torque should be leveled up just by looking the what you're going to get. There is just so many percentage doubling the percentage. Normal attack damage reduction, infantry counter attack damage bonus, just so many things that you're going to get as a benefit. It's not only the taunt duration. So maybe I can put a exception over Spiritborn Torque, but the rest of the artifacts is something that it's like this, especially for the mages. I think I make pretty nice overview over the mage artifacts. Don't forget to like the video, by the way, if you enjoyed and you get some good information. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read all of my comments. And this is going to be for this video. I really hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know, are you excited for the new mage artifact? Also, I'm curious, what is the expectation for the people? And I really hope the new mages to be broken, because you know, mages are getting little behind in this whole picture of PvP in Call of Dragons, and I really hope something to be done in this direction. So yeah, this will be for this video, guys. Like, subscribe, and see you in the next video.